All right, and welcome to episode 51 of Adventures in Inbetweening. Today we are looking at JG Quintel's The Regular Show. Love this show, quirky, funny, silly, surreal. Looking at the first episode called The Power.
Oh, you want us to put the hurt on you? I think he wants me to put the hurt on him.
I think he wants you to put the hurt on him.
You think he wants me to put the hurt on him?
Yes, I do.
Ah!
So many good things here. First, let's just look at Rigby's shoulder. Look how high that's drawn. I love that on this first shot going into this here. Now here he set up a wrestling ring with these little strips of cloth here. Set on top of this filing cabinet. Rigby is anticipating down, nice curve, and then he's going to go straight up here, jumping up. Just quickly, so Rigby and Mordecai are like 23-year-old anthropomorphic animals. Rigby's a raccoon, Mordecai's a blue jay, and they are wrestling their wrestling doll here. Look at this hookup. I mean, it's so not exact. I mean, Rigby was already off screen for several frames, then we cut, and he's way higher up in front of the tool, in front of the file cabinet there. But it doesn't matter. It's funny, and replaying the action sometimes, you know, that can be an actual employed device. It's intentional. Look at Rigby's drawing inside the trampoline there is terrific. He's going to zoom, bounce out of there. Look at this nice hang time, silly pose. I love it when they draw his eyes like that sometimes. It's just, they just separate them. It goes completely off model, but it doesn't matter. Again, it's recognizable, it's funny, it's entertaining. We had this 4-frame pan there. That's the only camera move in this entire breakdown. Everything else, the camera is completely locked off and does not move. It's just, I love that about this. We're not, trying to do too much with the camera. There's a layering issue here with the tail in front of the doll. Who cares? You know, technical stuff happens once in a while. It doesn't, even the slightest, detract from the entertainment value. Rigby's going to be spinning around here with the doll, looking at the storyboards. That's, something that was left up to the animator. Again, another thing left to the animator here is an interesting breakdown. If you got him bending down and he's got to go over here, we don't want to just do it functionally. We want to have actually some shape change going on there. Now, there's an extra pose here that wasn't boarded, where Rigby's going to be coming from off screen and jumping onto the wrestling doll. It's much more interesting to have that contrast of him starting off screen and then coming on screen, even though it wasn't in the boards. Taking the boards is important and not losing anything from the storyboards, but always trying to build up, get something extra as well. Rigby does this terrific back somersault here, stands up, pretty much goes off screen again, and then comes back down for the flying elbow. Again, just as much contrast as possible. Look at the funny posing here. Just wonderful stuff. Just really pushing these drawings to be as entertaining as possible, as engaging. Again, here, Rigby is coming up from off screen, and it's the whole peekaboo thing. It's like you go, with a kid, peekaboo, peekaboo, and that kids love that. But it's object permanence. Adults love that too. We still respond to it in a positive way. So here, one thing with Rigby's hand, when he's got the hand open and then he's going to put it on the wrestling doll's arm, it's something to always keep in mind. I say it at work all the time. Always make sure that you're opening, get that contrast. Don't just have the hand already in that same position. Wrestling doll attacks. Rigby grabs the arm, poof, hits himself across the face with it. And a nice follow through there. Rigby's spitting out saliva. Arm's going to be coming back. This is all, just kind of showing that this is great because Rigby actually reacts a frame too early here. And this is just like saying, oh yeah, okay, you're going to hit me, right? Okay. And he responds too quickly before the wrestling doll's fist actually hits him. And it's something we don't necessarily see when you watch this in real time, but we still feel it. It just adds to the humor, to the comedy, and to the entertainment of it. Now here, Rigby is challenging the doll. I think he wants us to put the hurt on him. And so Mordecai is joining in the match here. And look at the lip sync. I mean, just terrific shapes. Mordecai's hands come in 2 frames, grab onto Rigby, and that's enough for this shot. Then we can cut to the next shot, and we're going to see Mordecai, hands off screen, lots of room above him, setting up the composition for, if I'm starting off the scene here, you know that something's going to happen up here. Rigby's suddenly in a ball shape. Kind of ridiculous, but hilarious. We don't need to see him say, oh, I'm going to put my arms in my knees and assume that pose. It's all just about having that introduced for the audience and then letting it sit there while we've got the lip sync going. So it's giving us the audio information, it's giving us visual, something funny to look at. Here we've got Mordecai's mouth only moving. That's everything else is completely held still. The jaw's moving a little bit there too. I think he wants us to put the hurt on him. Do you think he wants us to put the hurt on him? Rigby's already looking at Mordecai when we cut here. We could have went for more contrast and had Rigby look up, but we want that engagement. They're just going boop, boop, boop. This is all about the timing and the pacing. And Rigby, yeah, just a little bit of a nod there. We want to keep the animation as simple as possible and just let the emotion escalate. That's what this is about. Back to Rigby, back to Mordecai. Back to Rigby, back to Mordecai. Escalating here. Rigby's, he's starting to get a little bit tense. Mordecai's starting to get a little bit crazy. And look at this negative space on Mordecai's mouth here. He's drawn with his mouth open and half of his head is missing here. Again, it's something you can do in 3D, but it's so much easier to do it in 2D. Now we're getting ready for the payoff. One frame, Mordecai pops up with Rigby in his hands here. Now this works on this one frame because we have the follow through. You can't just pop like that unless you're going to be selling it on at least one side of that motion. Great line of action here on Mordecai as he's bringing Rigby forward. Terrific follow through. Look at those curved arms to straights. Rigby's starting to look a little bit concerned now. He's going to shoot off screen at the bottom there. Mordecai's going to follow through with the arms and the legs. Look at that terrific silhouettes, a little bit of dust. Just tiny little pieces there. Rigby's going to come down into the trampoline again. He's coming down real fast this time. And again, he's starting to get more worried. It's a different pose than when he was previously in the trampoline. We always want to have more contrast, more variety. Settling, settling, settling. Boom! Shoots out in one frame. Look at this terrific drawing. Just hilarious stuff. Smearing his pupils back and just turning him into this little raccoon ball. And then we cut before he's even gone off the screen. We cut to the next shot. We're just waiting here for 7 frames, more than a quarter of a second. And then Rigby's going to come in on frame 8. Look at this terrific drawing. Again, just really funny stuff. It's just one drawing panning. We don't even have animation here. There's no shape change. It's just boop, boop, boop. And then he's gone for 2 frames, and we cut to the next shot. Now, next shot, we hold there for 5 frames. We could just introduce, okay, wall, trash basket. Looks like Rigby's having some fun now. He's all happy. Boom. 1 frame, everything changes. He hits the wall. He goes from the ball to the straight. The tail was dragging. Now the tail's hitting the wall. Animation lines coming out. Cracks from the wall. Rigby gently comes off the wall, starts to fall down. We do this crazy cut now. Rigby is pretty much the same size as the previous shot, but we're pulling the camera way back. It's almost technically, logically, it shouldn't seem to work, but it does, and it's so funny. Now Rigby's going to come down into the trash can. Plaster's going to start coming out from the wall, both falling at the same time. Cans are being shot out of the garbage can here as Rigby's displacing them. Here comes the wall down. Some dust, everything's happening at once. Just all this craziness. And this is setting up the entire rest of the show. They spend the whole show trying to fix this hole in the wall. And Rigby falls down here. He's just like another big can falling down. There's 3 little cans and Rigby's the big can. Dust dissipating off here. And last shot, I just threw this in because there's these little musical bits to this show. And it's quirky and bizarre and strange, and it's simple animation, but it's sold by the pacing and the timing and the contrast and just the charm of it, really. Here is where Rigby and Mordecai are getting synchronized. So they're doing everything at exactly the same time, grab each other's watches. Terrific silhouettes here. The animation, it's not too complex, but it's just set up so well, and it's just so entertaining and funny. And then Mordecai brings his head up just so we can see a little bit of lip sync there. Doop, 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 doop. That's a quick look at the first episode of the regular show. I love this show. I'm binge watching it again right now. I'm on season 3. And thanks for checking it out. I hope you enjoyed the breakdown, and I'll see you next time. Take care.